皆さん、また来てくださってありがとうございます。ということで、こちらは水曜日の夜です。ということでね、今日の動画はね、なんかだらっとした動画です。なんかこう、世間の声というか、二人のお姉さんなんですけど、バイデンのブーイングと、そろそろバイデンさん終わりなんじゃないかっていうことで、CNN とか、普通の人が、日本の人がこれを見ても、なぜみんなが CNN を見なくなっていったのかっていうのは分かってもらえると思うんですよね。こう、非常識なことを非常識のまま言うっていうね。だから、っていう首をかしげる人が多くて、これに付き合いきれないっていうことで、見なくなっていったんだと思います。それは同じように、これ左翼メディアですから、左翼政権も同じように、もうみんな付き合いきれないっていう形で、達観していると思います。見てください。どうぞ。
To show everybody is the takeaway is he got booed and he got booed hard, not only during this little Q&A with the press reporter, but also as he's leaving the Q&A. I mean, people don't like him. Check this out.
Talking to UAW, obviously I'm concerned. I think that there should be a circumstance where jobs that are being displaced and replaced with new jobs, they should go to the first choice should go to the UAW member who had the job, and the salary should be commensurate.
Oh my God.
Thank you also very much.
That is so bad. It's bad. It gets worse.
Okay, everybody, we need to go back.
And he's like, bye, everything's great. Hey, it's great. They're not booing. That's not booze. I can't. They're saying hi. Yeah, because he can't hear anything, I'm sure. He's just like, everything's great. I'm going to go for ice cream. Right? We get to go for ice cream after this? Because I can only get out for 5 minutes a day. Visiting angels, America's choice, home care. That's good harmony. That's good harmony. Work for like 5 minutes a day now. Because wasn't he vacationing somewhere? Lake Tahoe. That's where he was. Okay, so that was Lake Tahoe. So that was a vacation again, right? That was it. When is he not vacationing? There isn't a time that he's not on vacation. Oh my God, you guys. It's pathetic. I mean, he just is always vacationing. So one of the things that Nikki Haley said in the debate and that she's been saying for a long time is that if this country votes for Biden again, what they're really doing is voting for Kamala Harris for president. Right. And she's saying that because of Biden's age, which this is not a reach. Okay, this is just plain science. I mean, this is what happens. We have to expect when we see a decline of this magnitude in someone that decline is going to continue. And there's only one conclusion that it reaches, right? So I would think that that's fairly obvious. She fights with George Stephanopoulos about this, and he's being ridiculous, and she handles it. Here it is.
It's time that we had term limits in D.C. It's time that we quit talking about the past, and it's time that we start talking about what the new solutions are for us going forward.
I didn't quite understand part of your answer there. The Republican nominee likely be running against not Kamala Harris, but Joe Biden. Why would it be better to vote for a convicted felon than President Joe Biden?
Well, you're assuming that he's convicted, and you're assuming he's going to be the nominee, George.
You
and
were
I
asked a
disagree with
question
both
that was
of those.
based on that assumption, and you said you would vote for him.
Well, first of all, a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris. You know that, and I know that. There is no way that Joe Biden's going to finish his term. I think Kamala Harris is going to be the next president, and that should send a chill up every American spine. But I also think the fact that we have a primary.
Excuse me, 1 second, Ambassador. How do you know that Joe Biden's not going to finish his term? What is that based on?
Oh my God.
Ask Americans, do you think he's going to finish his term? Do you think that he's actually going to finish what he started? We look at the decline he's had over the last few years. You have to be honest with the American people, George. There's no way that Joe Biden's going to finish out a next term. We can't have an 81-year-old president. They're making decisions on our national security. They're making decisions on the future of our children's economic policy. We need to make sure we've got someone at the top of their game. Joe Biden is not at the top of his game. You know it, I know it, the American people know it.
It's true. Yeah.
It's really true. Yeah, he's an idiot. That guy is a total idiot.
Actually pushes back, which I was like, look at you, Jake.
Right.
We see you. So I thought, all right, well, this is probably worth sharing. Here it is.
That most Americans believe that President Biden is too old to be president. The poll looked at, and if you look at the breakdown by party, Republicans generally don't think of Trump's age as an issue, but both Democrats and Republicans agree Biden is too old. So here's the question. Is the White House worried that questions about President Biden's stamina could ultimately impact whether or not voters will be able to support him for a second term?
So I'm going to be careful about 2024. I can't speak to that directly, but
you can talk about the perception of the public with the president's stamina and his age.
I'm happy to talk about that. I get asked that question a lot. Here's the thing. You know, what this president brings to this administration is wisdom and experience. And that is just
for crying out loud.
As senator, as vice president, and now as president. He went to Kyiv, and he was there with the alarms blaring in the back, and people were so impressed that he was able to be there and look strong and represent the American people in Kyiv in a war zone country. And that's what you saw.
I'm not saying he's not able to walk.
No, but you're talking about his strength, right? You're talking about how he's looking right now.
I think like the average American male only lives to be 77 or something.
But here's the thing, Jake. People saw him and were impressed that he was able to do that he was able to be there and to present the American people. Look, the president says this all the time. Watch him, right? Watch him. And
they are watching him. That's what I'm saying. That's the 77% who are concerned.
No. But I've had conversations with some of your colleagues in the White House press corps when we travel abroad, how it is hard for us to keep up with this president who is constantly working every day to get things done and making sure that we are delivering for the American people. And I think that's what matters. I get it. I get what you're asking me, but the record matters too, Jake. What he's been able to do, no other president has been able to do if you look at his legislation.
Oh my God.
You mentioned.
Oh my God. Who cannot keep up with the amount of vacation that this Yahoo has taken? Raise your hand. Who would love to have as much vacation as he has?
And she's like, everybody was so impressed that he could stand upright that whole time.
Were we all impressed?
Amazing.
And a lot of people were like, that was such a photo op. Like, that was such a propped thing.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. Who was impressed by that? Raise your hand.
But did you see how Jake tried?
He did a little bit. I mean, he did. It's give me a break. He pushed back. Yeah, he did push back a little bit, I guess. I'll give him a little bit, like a teeny bit of credit.
いかがだったでしょうかということでね、まあね、本当にもう秒読みという感じだと思います。ただ、カマラ・ハリスにだけはなってほしくないと思っております。ということで今日はね、最後にカマラ・ハリスさんのパロディを乗っけてお別れします。ということでどうぞ。